Oh, Rumble. Rumble's amazing. I love it. But you can't put in the tags or pin your video until after you start the live. It's awesome. Remember, guys, we're on Rumble and YouTube. I did make TikTok now, and it's like old school YouTube where every other video is just getting flagged, which is super weird. Oh, here, let me adjust my mic settings. How about that? That should be better. Let me mute and listen real quick. That should be working. But yeah, YouTube, Rumble. I haven't even tried going live on YouTube before. Screw that company. But today's topic, flock cameras. Hello and welcome back, everyone. Collective Minds Podcast. Flock cameras, I keep hearing about them. I didn't know a lot about them. Not too sure entirely what they were, right? I knew there were cameras. I know that we have some around my area. And I guess it's becoming a big thing. And I made a connection between that and what's going on over in Europe. And starting to really come together. Put us in a surveillance state, right? We're getting tracked, from driving just downtown to your own cell phone now. You're going to be monitored. They're going to know who you are, what you're doing. And the problem with that, I don't know whether to be more worried about the government, right? The government having that ability and control, or if it's going to be other governments. I mean, there's news Israeli hacking into all sorts of stuff. Russia, China. These people are going to have your information. They already do. Lots and lots of people have had their identity stolen. I've had mine stolen, actually. It was like $3,000 or something. Opened up like a Home Depot credit card and got a bunch of those little plates for like outlet covers. Like thousands of them, because there were pennies on the dollar. And shipped them somewhere. They wouldn't even tell me where the address was that they shipped. So it looks like people are already starting to fight back against this. It says, welcome to DFlock, an open source project mapping license plate readers. Automated license plate readers, ALPRs or LPRs, are AI-powered cameras that capture and analyze images of all passing vehicles, storing details like your car's location, date, and time. They also capture your car's make, model, color, and identifying features such as dents, roof racks, and bumper stickers, often turning these into searchable data points. So that's super interesting. For a long time, they've had cameras where you would get a ticket, right? You didn't pay a toll or you were speeding, and it's getting worse, which I think is crazy. How do you know it was me driving my car, right? Not somebody else. They don't care. They're going to send it to you either way, and you're going to have to pay it, right? Because the way laws work is it's all enforceable by force. That's what it is. It's, well, what if I don't pay my taxes? Well, men with guns are going to come kick in your door, and they're going to drag you and put you in a cage, and they're going to hold you there until either you pay the taxes or they're going to enslave you for a long period of time. And that's how governments actually work. People don't typically think about it like that or look at it from that angle, but that's exactly what it is. It's always been who holds the biggest stick, right? And now the entire world is starting to become like a micromanaging manager. And they're going to know everything about you. So locally, I've heard that the police were able to use them. They were able to, and then they weren't because people were suing, right? The city or the county, whichever, for violating their rights because people can hack into it. And there's a weird blurred view here where I hope that the Supreme Court gets a hold of this and makes a good decision on if law enforcement or government agencies are using this information, it's public information. That's why they're able to record you in public, which means I could go down and FOIA request information. If I know you're driving down the street, I see you just one time and go, I want to know who that is, right? I can FOIA request that information on each of those cameras, find out where you went or where you came from, and then I can start tracking your daily. People are going to get hurt from this kind of information. My guess is you're going to see a lot of jaded police officers, not a lot, a few of them, doing it for personal vendettas, right? And you're going to see ex-wives or wives getting murdered. It's the typical story there. You're going to be seeing that, and they're going to go, well, I don't know where she went, so I'm going to type her license plate in this or her name in it, or even upload a picture of her. And they're going to be able to track her, see what she's doing. This is insane technology. And this is what Europe has had for a long time, the CCTV cameras. It's a lot more fun watching the US cop shows than it is to watch theirs, because they, every time they go, instead of going out there and like doing detective work or chasing them down, they just let them go wherever they're going, get on a camera and spend hours watching this person's entire night where they end up, because that's how many cameras they have in their cities, is you can't get away from it. No matter where you go, they're going to find you. It's insane. And I'm sure satellite technology, they already can do it. But this is, from my understanding, this is giving the capability not just from like the CIA, but all the way down to your city police can use this system. This seemed like a pretty decent article over here. I'm going to try to jump over the libtarded points here. So bear with me as I attempt that one, because it is going to jump back and forth. All you angry commenters over there on YouTube know how you get. It says the Cloud Automatic License Plate Reader, ALPR, LPR company Flock is building a dangerous nationwide mass surveillance infrastructure, as we have been pointing out for several years now. The problem with mass surveillance is that it always expands beyond the uses for which it is initially justified. So now they're going to go, well, this is going to help us solve murders. This is going to help us, the big jobs. This is going to help us find that bad guy, the monster in the dark, the scary thing out there that could get you. Where it's few, far, and in between. 0.001% of cases are going to be that. This is going to be just like, reminds me, I think it's Ford doing it, but where they're going to have a camera in the car, and if you look flustered or upset or anything, the vehicle won't start. That's what this is going to be. Like, you are going to have to become a robot to live in this world as the robots take over. Flock system is undergoing insidious expansion across multiple dimensions. If your community adopts this technology, you need to know it's doing more than just recording what car is driving where and at what time. It's worth stepping back and looking at an overview of what's going on. The company's surveillance data is being used by ICE. So here's the first point. I'm not a strong opinion on this, so I just want to throw that out there. I think people that shouldn't be here. And then you see the stories. So I'm a little mixed on this one. Flock sells their cloud-connected cameras to police departments and private customers across the nation. Biggest mistake number one. Private customers should not be able to buy this information. That's insane. Pulls the license plate readings they collect into their own servers and allows police to do nationwide searches of the resulting database, giving even the smallest town police chief access to an enormously power-driven or driver surveillance tool. The tech news outlet 404 Media obtained records of nationwide searches, which include a field in which officers list the purpose of their search. These records revealed that many of the searches were carried out by local officers on behalf of ICE for immigration purposes, including its notorious enforcement and removal operations division. So I could see why this would get a lot of, go ahead, right? A lot of Americans don't want illegal immigrants here. So they would say, yes, whatever you got to do to get them out of here. The problem with that is they're not going to stop doing it. So once that goal has been achieved, they're coming for your ass. It's not just going to go away. Remember COVID for this stuff. Let's see. Removal Operations Division. Emails from police departments in Oregon also shed light on how local police are providing informal assistance to ICE. It's safe to say that even many who support the use of ALPR programs by their local police to catch local criminals do not support funneling the data that is collected to the Trump administration and those carrying out its abusive and often unlawful immigration program. Okay, it looks like they were doing it for illegal abortion as well. The point on this, though, is going to be it doesn't matter why they're doing it, they're going to be doing it. That's the problem. I mean, it's going to get so ridiculous that you looked at someone wrong, or you drove over, the yellow line for half a second. It's going to be something, it's going to end up being you said naughty words on the internet and we're coming to get you. We're going to track and trace you, and they're not going to have to type your name in and start now. That's the thing, right? They're going to see the past 6 months of where you've been, what you've done, all your transactions. Everything will already be documented. And that's probably what these giant servers that they're trying to get in, data centers, and the servers, that's what this is going to be used for. So here's a great one. Let's sell your information. Meanwhile, as police around the nation expand their uses of the surveillance machinery, Flock is expanding the power of the system itself. For example, the company is planning to plug its systems into commercial data brokers that offer services such as People Lookup. Flock has long claimed that their LPRs don't collect personally identifiable information, as if license plates can't easily be connected to specific people. It should be. The reason it's not is because it's shown to the public. And technically, your state owns that license. So that claim is always bogus, but with their new product, they make that falsity explicit, boasting that the new product will let police jump from LPR to person. Interesting. Skip that. From still to video and with AI. In another major expansion, Flock is turning its plate readers into surveillance cameras. The company has announced that police departments will soon be able to obtain not just still photos from ALPR cameras, but also video, with the ability to request live feed for 15-second clips of cars passing by the cameras. And Flock is using AI to let law enforcement search through that data using natural language searches. The company uses the example of searching for landscaping trailer with a ladder. But we have to assume searches could encompass descriptions of anything captured by one of their cameras, including vehicle occupants and bystanders. This is going to be huge for human trafficking. Remember that. Okay, think about, they're already selling this to private companies. Easily searchable, sounds like you can search up anything. It's like the CAPTCHAs, right? Where pick out the car or the dog out of the photos. That's what this is. But you're telling AI to do it for you. Find me this. Evil. It's going to be find me between these ages, this color of hair, this color of eyes, single mom, boom. And I'll show you the last 6 months of capturing out in public where they live, where they go to school. This is a weapon. We recently wrote about how generative AI is turbocharging video search and surveillance. And this is an example of the trend. Imagine that a police officer stood on your street writing detailed notes about you every time you drove or walked by them. Exactly. All the details about what your car looks like, make, model, color, distinguishing characteristics, bumper stickers, as well as details about visible occupants and pedestrians. How many, at what time, their activities, demographic data, what they are wearing, attributes they may have, such as a beard, hat, tattoo, or t-shirt, and what that hat, t-shirt, or tattoo might say. Now imagine that there is an army of police officers doing this on every block. I would say you don't have to imagine. I'd say this is like when you're booked into jail and they write all your information down. They're violating your rights completely. They're going, we own you as soon as you step out of your box. But make sure that you pay all the taxes on your box, or else we'll take that from you too. And then we'll actually throw you into a box as well if we catch you you know, outside of your box because we took it from you. Now you're homeless. This is crazy. Corporate blacklisting, surveillance. It's exactly what they're doing. Infrastructure. You know, we should be spending this money on fixing our actual, like, infrastructure, right? The blackouts, power, I mean, even the internet sucks. Everything keeps going out around here. Like 4 or 5 times in the past 2 months. That's not normal. That's not supposed to be normal. That doesn't happen in other countries. I mean, some, you know, but not first world countries. It's not supposed to happen. That's the infrastructure we should be working on, not cameras staring at everybody. It's not going to make the crime go down. If they went after the criminals, the crime would go down. You start with the Epstein files there. The list on that one, that'd be a great idea. Let's see. Generating suspicion. Let's see this. This is a quote of this guy. As I recently wrote about, Flock has also introduced AI analytic products that shift the company from providing tools for officials to use in investigating suspicion to generating suspicion. Absolutely. So suspicion is not a crime. They should not be able to get your PII just because of suspicion. It's not a crime. To generating suspicion. Absolutely. So they're trying to catch you on something or create something. And that's the thing. That's the problem with police or any form of law enforcement, that if they really don't like you and they're not a good person or they're not a good entity, they will make something to get you. They will. We've seen it over and over again. It's always been that way. You give someone a little bit of falsified power and give them a gun and a badge, and that's exactly what will happen if they don't. If they want you to be a criminal, they will turn you into a criminal. One such analysis service that it has begun selling is an attempt to identity large-scale criminal activities by scanning the movement patterns of all vehicles contained in their data set to try to identify and alert law enforcement to those that their algorithm decides are suspects. So that's them practicing. That's exactly what that is. They're testing. They're trying to figure out how to make it so good that they know exactly who is where at all times. Suspect. That word is insane. Overall, this explosion of new uses is what happens when you build an authoritarian tracking infrastructure. It expands in more and more ways. State legislatures and local governments around the nation need to enact strong, meaningful protections of our privacy and way of life against this kind of AI surveillance machinery. And it's kind of getting the bump up too, right? Because Trump just came out and he's like, no laws against AI. Well, this is the problem. How are you going to stop something like this? Well, every other country is treating their citizens like criminals. Many of you guys have seen the videos of over in China where someone jaywalks and then their picture gets shown up on the screen. Their little credit score goes down. They have to pay a fine. It's insane. That's going to be it. You're going to be able to watch this stuff happen on TV. That'll be the next, like, cops show at some point. Be like, look at how we tracked him. The AI robot found him in 2.5 minutes. And the dog drone flew down and attacked him. So this conversation led me to this. And I was kind of confused because I kept seeing videos about it, like, why would it be bad stopping children from taking, sharing, or receiving nude photos, right? Obviously, that's bad. There should be ways to stop it. It makes a lot of sense. I started reading this article and realized, like, it's kind of the same thing with the flock cameras, right? Now it's going to be your phone is watching you, and we know it's happening right now, right? But this is normalizing. So UK is trying to normalize it. Normalize you handing over your identity. Because imagine if, right, how easy it would be for the flock cameras if every time you drove by one, you had to hand them an ID. Now, you had to get out, go to the little machine, stick your ID in there, it scans your face, verifies who you are, takes a blood sample, and then you drive away. That's what's going to happen here. So, under new plans, big tech companies like Apple and Google must activate built-in features or implement technical solutions on smartphones and tablets to detect and block nude images for children. The Prime Minister announced in a speech at London Tech Week today, that was the 8th, this is last month. This will prevent predators from being able to exploit and abuse victims for their devices, as well as stopping children from being able to access pornography. Adults will still be able to take, share, or view nude content through an age verification process. So, question, big question here. I'm sure you guys have the same question. Just want to point it out. This is Europe. They already have the CCTV cameras, they have Flock, they have all that stuff. It's already there. Why can't they just go get the bad guys and then implement something like this? Or maybe we wouldn't have to, right? Like let's use the Flock system to catch the pedophiles and arrest them, or put them in the wood chipper, whatever they're doing. I don't know. I'm not going to assume anything. Whatever they're going to do, get these people, throw them under the jail, and then this wouldn't be such an issue. And also, let's just ban the majority of pornography in any form or fashion, right? Ban OnlyFans. Let's just get the very Israeli mentality, evil substance out of our society, and we won't have these kinds of issues. But let's start by using the cameras that's violating everyone's rights to go get the pedophiles. Let's do that. Let's both. Let's start with the pedophiles. And then you can go for illegals and rapists and murderers, all of them. Just take them all out. Before you start making people have to verify who the hell they are on what phone at what time. Because then it clicked. I'm like, oh, they want to know everything, right? Because you could go buy a phone at the store right now, prepaid burner phone pretty much, and you can use the internet for regular things, and nobody knows who you are. But if this goes into effect, they are going to know exactly who you are all the time. I just kind of had a thought too. What happens when the government starts stealing your money and says, no, we tracked your phone, it was you had verification, everything, look at this transaction you made, boom. Or hackers. That's going to be a new issue here in the future. So it says this will prevent predators from being able to exploit and abuse victims through their devices, as well as stopping children from being able to access pornography. Adults will still be able to take, share, or view nude content through an age verification process. Now is the time for tech companies to step up and work with government to solve this horrific issues. If companies do not act within 3 months, the government will bring forward legislation to force them to activate the technology. Now, you see that Europe has a big issue with it, just like the U.S. The entire world does. For some reason, it's an evil that is just in our society. Let's go arrest these people. How about you stop booking and releasing them back into the public for them just to do it, right? Now the kids are the issue, huh? When it comes to the safety of our children, standing by is not an option. Nobody gets a free pass. That is why I'm making sure Britain is the first country in the world to make it impossible for children to take, share, or view nude images, and I expect tech firms to make that happen. This is not an impossible challenge. These are some of the most innovative companies in the world, but if they choose not to, then we will act and change the law. So they're just threatening. I mean, I think any company, when threatened like this, should fight back. Say, okay, you guys make your own damn phones. Honestly. But the videos I was seeing about this topic right here was how it's an active block, right? So it's how to explain this. So you pull out your phone right now, turn on the camera. As soon as if you're like a woman and shirtless and you turn the camera on you, as soon as it shows that, blurs it out, gets rid of it actively. So it's like an active AI on your phone that is always looking and is always trying to censor that. And people are really worried because with the crimes happening from all the immigration, right, from all the third world countries and all the criminals and people chopping other people's heads off in these countries, that this is going to be used to stop people from recording horrible things happening, because it's getting so bad with the government there. The police are letting it happen, right? That one guy was just stabbed by pretty much an illegal immigrant. I'm just going to call it what it is, an illegal alien over there. And then the cops held the guy who got stabbed down on the ground, and he bled out and died. He was a young kid, too. But it's going to be when you're trying to record this happening, we will never hear these stories. Because it will, boop, actively. You won't be able to document it. We'll have to go back to old cameras. That's what people are going to have to do. But then the government over there, they control the internet just like ours, a little bit more strict, a little bit more apparent. You'll go to prison if you post it. If you tell the truth, that's what's going on. This technology, I got a good feeling, isn't going to be used to fight evil. It's a weapon. And they gaslight you, too. Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood. Really? As a society, we have not kept pace with the changing threats that children face. Abuse online is far too common, and we will not tolerate it. Absolutely. Go after the people abusing children online. Go get them. Tech companies have a moral duty to act by making it impossible for children to take, share, or view nude images. If they don't, we will legislate. And I agree. That should never happen. It messes with kids' minds. It's a horrible thing. But why don't you just get rid of it? Get rid of it. Make it not so accessible. I mean, I was too young, but people used to make it sound like it was a whole mood to go into, a VHS store, DVD, go pick up a dirty movie, or buy a magazine or something. Why is this 5 seconds away from you at all times? It is right there. It is. It's like the devil tempting you. It's right there. And now we have addictions for it. And I don't want to laugh because I can't wrap my head around it, but it's like a serious thing. It shouldn't be that accessible. Because these measures build on progress already made in the UK. Since the publication of the Violence Against Women and Girls strategy, Apple has already taken significant steps to combat this harm and show the art of the possible, launching world-first features in the UK. So just a practice zone. They're going to go, let's test this here, let's test this here, let's test this here, see what we can get away with, see how well it works, and then let's form one big organization, one package, and we'll just sell it to everyone. So Apple recently introduced age checks for iPhone users, making it the first company to activate safety features by default for those who are not verified as over 18. That's not a bad idea. That's what they should do. If you don't verify, right, lock it down until you verify you're an adult. That makes sense to me, right? This is a significant step forward following the government's commitments to work with industry, and it shouldn't even be adult. It shouldn't be your ID. Maybe a credit card. Maybe that's better. Maybe not. Or just make it so kids can't buy phones. I'm not too sure. See, it's like, I feel like we have this figured out with cigarettes and alcohol and anything. Anything you have to be over the age of 18 or 21 here in the U.S. for. I feel like we have this figured out. We're just not implementing it. Despite this, the nudity detection is not applied to the camera or broader apps, third-party messaging services, or search functions, meaning that children can still take, view, share, and save nude images. It's just, they're going to say it. They're just going to keep saying it because it's the only way they're going to get it through. So your camera is not actively being monitored on every device, no matter who you are. Does this system shut down once you put in your ID? No, it's not going to. It's a weapon. Alongside the changes announced today, the consultation on children's use of social media has now closed with more than 100,000 responses received from parents, young people, and experts. The government will publish its response soon and will continue working with international partners to tackle this shared global challenge to drive better protections for children online. I absolutely agree with that statement. No parent should have to worry that giving their child a smartphone opens the door to abuse and exploitation. Well, it's always going to be a possibility. Just like, stepping outside, crossing the street. You're either going to teach your kid how to look both ways before crossing the street, or they might get hit by a car. That's why we put stop signs and speed limits, and we teach our children, because there's dumbass people out there that are still going to speed and blow through stop signs and not be looking and hit a kid. We should be going after the people. That should be the main focus. We should be going after the bad guys. And you can't tell me with the whole track and trace, like, this is old news to me and to you if you think about it, the whole track and trace with the COVID. This goes back a long ways. This is their version of implementing these controls into your life for the betterment of society. It's the same thing. Track and trace for COVID. and they knew what it was. It was all a test. It's all part of a plan. We are holding social media platforms to account and will soon announce our next steps to keep the children safe online, but this doesn't stop with platforms. The devices themselves are part of the problem, and they can be part of the solution. Yep. Guns don't kill people. So, now it can't be just the soft, like the whichever program you're using on your phone. Now it has to be, we have to control the software. We have to actively see everything that's going on in your camera. This is already happening, people. They're already watching. This is them announcing they're watching, but it's for your own good. We'll keep you safe. Let Big Daddy government take over. Let us watch through your camera, listen through your microphone. We'll keep your kids safe. Bullshit. 91% of online child sexual abuse reports recorded in 2024 contain self-generated content from children themselves, and the average child now views pornography by age 13. I wonder what those statistics look like. If that's every child, right? If they're sending them to each other, and they're like 16, 17 years old, which you're just never going to stop. The effect of this can have long-lasting impacts on young people's lives and contributes to abuse in younger relationships, with 39% of teenagers aged 13 through 17 experiencing emotional or physical abuse from a partner. Right. We should just make it illegal and enforce it. And I've heard stories of it being enforced. A teenager at a high school airdropping nude photo of himself to a bunch of his classmates gets charged. Sexual harassment and child sexual abuse material whatever whatever it was. But yeah, get their asses too. Get these little shits in line and spend 99.999% of all of our money on catching the pedophiles and start with the Epstein list. Chief Executive Officer of Internet Watch Foundation, that's a crazy title, Carrie Smith, said on-device protections are a pivotal part of coordinated, multi-layered approach to safeguarding children online. An alarming amount of child sexual abuse material, which our analysts see every day, is self-generated by children as a result of grooming, coercion, or manipulation. We need device-level detection and blocking alongside platform-level protections. That's insane. Just make it illegal for them to have phones at this point. Why? It's because they can make money off your kids now. Watching those videos. That's why all my videos are not made for kids. Blocked. Don't let anyone under the age of 18 watch them. You don't need to. Should be a kid, be out there having fun, off a computer, off a phone, riding a bike. Measures to protect children already exist within smartphones and tablets, but are applied inconsistently, often switched off by default and only blurring content rather than blocking it. But the government is working closely with technology companies, some of whom, like Apple, have already taken steps to implement protective features to make this goal a reality. So right there, it says switched off by default and only blurring content rather than blocking it. It shouldn't just be blurred or blocked. It should be reported to the police, and your police should be acting on it, right? Because if people are actually worried, hey, if I get on the internet and do this, someone's going to show up at my door, kick my door down, and put my ass in prison for breaking the law, they wouldn't do it. Or you just, round them all up, take care of them. We don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm telling you, public hangings was a great way. They did. Public execution worked very well. People got to see it. And I'm sure, it was like a family gathering, a little desensitized to it, but people knew what was going to happen if you did this. That fear of society turning its back on you because you are doing something very wrong works great. And it has for thousands of years. Says the government has the right to act. Children have been failed for too long. Disgusting. Where's half this article should be about what they're doing to go after the people doing it. And it's just that. They're blaming the children. Pretty much in this, it's just saying that they're victimizing each other. And that, there's just bad guys out there. We need to keep you safe, so we need to monitor you, violate you. I mean, they don't have much rights over there, but your God-given rights. You need to be protected from yourself. Oh, and it just keeps going. Let's see. Despite it being a criminal offense to create or share explicit images of the child, the reality is that sharing nude images is still prevalent among children and young people, with many feeling coerced into doing so. Under no circumstances should coercive control and pressure be applied to a child to share intimate images of themselves, and we welcome any measures that will make the taking and sharing of such images more difficult. This form of abuse is just as real and just as damaging to the well-being of children and young people as other forms of violence against women and children. It is high time that technology companies are held to account and do more to ensure that the most vulnerable of their users are safe. So that's amazing. I like that statement. However, we should be going, why are you not reporting by the millions, if not tens or hundreds of millions all across the world of people doing things they shouldn't be doing? Facebook, Google, right? Apple, YouTube, any of you. All of you. They could put an end to it today. Just like they tracked and traced people during COVID. It could all be done. It could be done in a very short amount of time. Red flag, go up, scoop them up, take them in, and hold them for, what? The 48 hours, whatever you're able to do. Lock them under the jail. Alright, guys, make sure to check out that TikTok. And if you're on YouTube, check out the Rumble. Got more videos on Rumble. And if you're on Rumble, make sure to go subscribe to the YouTube. Make sure to leave a like and, comment. Let me know what you think about this topic and how crazy it's going. It's like computers came out not that long ago for the average household. I remember landlines. They don't exist anymore. It's cell phones, new cell phones, satellites. I mean, it's crazy. And now they're always watching, listening, everything. Tracking and tracing. They just can't get the bad guys. Let me know what you think. We'll catch you on the next one.